Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Rabbana zidna ilma. Allahumma faqihna fid din. Allahumma inni as'aluka ilman nafi'a wa rizqan tayyiba wa amalan mutaqabbala. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. So here we are with our session number 144. And inshallah, we are going to start with a quick review inshallah, of whatever we have covered in our last session. So, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. The first verse that I would like you to have a look at is a verse from Suratul Baqarah. Do you see any ism file in this verse of Suratul Baqarah? Can anyone point out the ism file? Fa'ilun, any word that is on fa'ilun pattern? Very well done. Very well done. Asimun. So if you can see here, there is a mud there. So you have to read this word two count. So one is there were two and there was a hamza. There was a hamza, and after hamza there is an alif, which is an alif of the container. So the root letters are hamza, sa, mim. So asimun is the same as fa'ilun, right? You all agree? Is this clear to each and every one of you? So if I have a word asimun and I have now figured it out that this is my ismu fa'il, should I see if it is behaving like a fail, yes or no? Sure, I should, right? If I have, just forget about whatever else is there. I want you to just stay focused on this part of the words, okay? Innahu. What do you think? Innahu is. Have you ever covered this thing before? If you can give me the i'rab of innahu, harf nasb wa ismuha, right? Harf nasb wa ismuha. So inna, harf nasb, and who is ismu inna, right? After you have figured out harf nasb wa ismuha, after ismu inna, you must look for khabru inna, and your khabru inna in this case is athimun, right? Athimun is your khabar. Everyone agrees, right? When you have your khabar athimun, and then you see qalbuhu. What is the role of qalbu after athimun? Look at the status. It is an outside doer. Your ismu inna was who? Your ismu inna was athimun. Okay, your ismu inna is already done. Okay, athimun is your ismu inna. After you have figured out that ismu in your athimun is your khabru inna. After you have figured out that your khabru inna is ism file, you must see if this ism is acting like a fail. Okay, it's not going to be the case in every verse of Quran, but there is a possibility, since we just covered a topic where an ism can sometimes act like a fail. Ism can sometimes act like a fail. Therefore, you are shown this verse. So you have to now go back and think about your ism acting like a fail. When there is a fail, what are the parts of Jumla failure? After a fail, what do you look for? If there is a fail, you look for a file. Yes, number one, you look for a file. What is the next step? After looking for a file, you look for a maf'ul, right? If your fail is lazim, can you have maf'ul? If your fail is lazim, meaning it cannot take maf'ulun bihi, then there is no maf'ulun bihi, right? That problem is solved for everyone. That if a fail is lazim, it's not going to take maf'ul bihi. Yes, there are instances where you've been taught how you can you can change lazim into mutaaddi, but how do you change lazim into mutaaddi? Who remembers that concept? By using a harf. Very well done. Very well done. So here you are not seeing any harf. And anyways, we are not going to even go back there, but I want you to just refresh your memories about lazim and mutaaddi as we are doing this verse, and I don't want anyone to be behind. So innahu harf nasb wa ismuha asimun is khabru inna. Asimun, according to Surf, is fa'ilun, as Sister Zohra solved that problem for us, right? She told us that this is ism file because it is spelled like an ism file. Just like, we teach our children spellings for these words, there are set of spellings that they are taught. The same thing you have to do. You need to know the spelling of each and every ism file up till at least from family 1 to family 10, at least from family 1 to family 10, everyone should be well versed with the spelling of ism file. Okay. Qalbuhu, you have told me, some of you have said qalbuhu is mutalik bil, some have said this is a outside doer. I will, most of you I think have said that this is outside doer. Do you all agree? Right? I should write. I should label qalbu as file, li ismu file, athimun, right? His heart sins. Hmm? His heart is sinful. Whoever he hides it, that indeed his heart is sinful. Make sense? Everyone got it? So that is what is happening here. There are cases you are not going to be able to put things together. But if you have learned concept of ism file acting as fail, I assure you many verses of Quran will make very complete and clear sense. Otherwise, yes, people don't have, not everyone has to master grammar. Not everyone is an expert of grammar, but there are people with a very clear understanding of Quran without knowledge of grammar as well. But if you want to understand Quran through the grammatical rules as well, then you must know this concept as well. And that's going to help you a long way. Okay. Now let's look at the second example. So this one is clear to each and every one. If you see an athimun, he is sinful, lazim or mutaaddi? I don't know which family it belongs to. Asima ya'thimu or asima ya'thamu. Give it to Samia and see what kind of a fail it is. It sounds like lazim, right? He sins. He sins. It makes no sense. Everyone got it? So it is fail lazim only and only there is a possibility of outside doer, and we see a very clear outside doer with a rough status after athimun. Now look at this one. Innaha bakaratun safra'u faqi'un launuha. So innaha, what are we seeing here? Innaha. I just want you to focus on this one. And real quick. Harf nasb wa ismuha. After harf nasb wa ismuha, we look for khabru harf nasb, right? And do we see anything? Yes, there is a bakaratun, right? Bakara is the khabar of inna. Everyone, indeed, it is a call. Hmm? Safra'u. How can you connect these two together? Mawsuf was sifa. Mawsuf was sifa. Very well done. Yes, it is a sifa for safara'u, yellow cow. Yellow cow is a sifa, right? It's describing, matching in all four properties grammatically as well. Everyone agrees that both are feminine, both are singular, both are common, both are rough in status. Go on to see another word. Faqi'un launuha. So do you see any ism file in this case? Faqi'un. So faqi'un lawnuha. What is the role of lawnuha? How will you label lawnuha after faqi'un? When you have an ism file, faqi'un, very well done. Number one, it is an idafa. Lawnuha is an idafa. Then you will go on to see the status of mudaf, and mudaf is raf in status. So I can say that this is an outside doer for faqi'un. You will write it as file li ismu file faqi'un. And that is how it's all going to remain connected. Is this chunk also describing cow or no? Yes, it is the second sifa. Very well done. What about this one? Third sifa, can we call it the third sifa for Baqaratun? It pleases those who look at it, right? So tasuru is fail, mudare, marfu, bidammat zahira, wal file. Who's the file in tasuru? Here, very well done. So it is again describing Baqaratun, and the concept is the concept of complex sifa. Remember the complex sifa that we have learned in our term 3, 4 or something, right? And this is Jumla Felia coming as sifa for Baqaratun. There is another sifa here, like you have seen safara'u as normal mawsuf sifa, and then this faqiyun lawnuha is also describing bakaratun, and there's a special name for it, but we have not gone over that concept, so I will leave it as such for now. Okay, I'm not going to teach you that. So what were the conditions for ism file to act as fail if it is mujarrad bil al? And what is the meaning of mujarrad bil al? So it does not have to match because of Nat Sababi. Sister Diba, it is Nat Sababi. So that is why Faqiyun is not matching Bakaratun, right? Yeah. So if it is number one, if it is Mujarrad bil al, it means no al is there. Okay, al is absent. And then if it is Mujarrad bil al, for it to act as ism file, you must have one of the four conditions met that Sister Faiza has written down. Number one, ism file must be either a khabar of Jumla Ismiya. It can be either in Jumla Istifhamiya, or it must be in Jumla Manfiya, or it is preceded by a Mawsuf. It is a sifa, right? And there is another case that you did not see on your slide, but I just verbally told you that it is preceded by ya. If it is preceded by ya, in that case also, ism file, when it is munada, it is going to act like a fail. Everyone with me? Very well done. Very well done. Now I'm thinking people are using their fingers, so that means their brain is opening up now. It's reassuring. Alhamdulillah. So now let's see. There is another example here. Now this is, there are different spellings, so be careful. Jannati adnin mufattahatun mufakhatat mufattahatan lahumul abwabu. What are we seeing here? Let me mufattahatan. Sorry, this I'm not wearing my glasses. I'm andhi totally. Okay. Okay. This is now as an ism maf'ul, right? Because of the fatha, because of the fatha, no, we know that it is ism maf'ul. And what did I tell you? Ism maf'ul follows the same rules as ism file, yes or no? Right? In the last session, I told you ism maf'ul is going to follow the same rules as ism file, except it is going to be translated and it is going to act as passive. When it acts like a fail, it's going to be act like a majhul fail, right? Because it belongs to the majhul line, right? In your surf, it belongs to your majhul line, right? It is never a doer of an action. It's a maf'ul is a receiver of an action. So just like in case of fail majhul, we know the receiver of an action, we are unaware of the file, and we basically it is done to. So similarly, it's only going to replace whenever there is a sum of all, it is going to act like fail majhul, right? And it's going to take naibul file. Very well done. So is this clear? Do you think this mufattahatan is acting like a fail here? Do you all agree? No? Sister Rina does not agree. Sister Rina, what makes you not agree to that? Doors will be opened for them. Yes, so Sister Zarina has got a very special point, and I was also looking at the same thing in case of this verse. So when we learned that ism file is going to act as a fail, if it is mujarrad bil al, what were the conditions? It's only going to be translated as present future, and the second condition was it must be in four cases. So the four cases were. Yes, so now, yes, that's yeah. So let me just first see those four cases. So four cases again: predicate, which is the khabar, manfi jumla, jumla ismiya, and it has a mawsoof, right? So question, negation, predicate. Number four was the if it is a sifa, and number five, which is is if it is preceded by harf nida ya, right? If it is preceded by harf nida ya and it is itself a munada, then it's going to act like a it's going to act like what is it called, it is going to act like fail. So here, can we say that this could be the sifa for jannat, Jannatun Adinin, whose doors have been opened for them? What do you think? Will it make sense? Yeah, if we consider it as a sifa for Jannati Adinin, then it makes total sense that this is acting like a fail, and Al Abwabu is going to be, what is Al Abwabu, file or Naibul file? Naibul file for Mufattahatan, right? No problem. Okay. So is this clear to all of you? Does it make sense now? Now let's go and look at this one. ذَلِكَ يَوْمٌ يَوْمٌ مَجْمُوعٌ لَهُ النَّاسِ. So what do you think? Do you see any ism maf'ul here? How many ism maf'ul in this verse? There are two. Very well done. So my dear sisters, it's about time to go back to yourself, and do not forget yourself that we have spent some time on. So inshallah, you will be receiving your test soon, so that it will keep you on top of everything. Inshallah, you will be well versed with surf when once you are going to get your tests, and then you will prepare for it very seriously. So inshallah. So but for now, zalika yawmum majmu'un. So what is the relationship here? It's very well done. Mausufa sifa, and this here, what made it qualify to act like a fail? So Sabra, what do you think? Why can it now majmu'un, which is ism maf'ul, now can act as a fail? The reason is because it is a sifa for yawm, right? Very well done, Sister Maryam. Sister Mariam. Mariam, what's your real name? So now when you have majmu'un and you're thinking that it can act as a fail, what are we looking here at? When you look at lahu, it is going to be, lahu is going to be what? Jar wal majroor, muta'alliq bil ism maf'ul, muta'alliq bil ism maf'ul, and annasu is going to be, what is going to be the label? Annasu is going to be naibul fa'il. Everyone with me? Easy? Now here you can see that this is, I think, the last example, and no, there is another one. Yeah, yes, people will be gathered on it. So how did you notice how you are, with this from here to here? What is all this? Is the sifa ending only on majmu'un, or the entire majmu'ul lahun nas is a sifa? The sifa is ending at annas. Very well done. All three words is going to be the sifa for yawm. And how you are going to make connection between majmu'ul lahun nas, you have learned it, that your ism maf'ul is acting like fail majhul. Lahu is jar wal majroor mutalik bil ism maf'ul. Annasu is going to be naibul fa'il. Easy? No one is going to make mistake on this one. Nobody should. Okay. So now zalika yomul mashhud, there is no question about it. We are not going to, because there is nothing after it. Just um, that's as easy sifat. So keep it that way. Don't worry about that one. Okay. Now let's spend some time on the next verse from Suratul Baqarah, verse number 85. You have to focus on this part of the verse. Hua, give me the labeling for hua. هو مبتدا محرم اسم فاعل or مفعول. محرم is khabar. Very well done. It is ism maf'ul. Sister Zarina, can you tell me the surf of this? Is it ism maf'ul from form 1 or from as-salasi al-mazid fihi? Family number 2, very well done. Mazid fihi, very well done. Because the number and because of the meme dhamma, everyone must call it that this is a maf'ul from big families, because in case of form number 1, there is only one form for ism maf'ul, which is like maf'ulun, ism maf'ulun, like majmu'un, like mashhudun, right? So this is a spelling for maf'ulun from in case of form 1 when it is in mujarrad, but in case of form 2, you're calling it form 2 because your letter number 2 has doubled up, right? So predicate is muharramun alaykum ikhrajuhum. So what are we seeing here? Very well done. Muharramun, since it's a predicate, since it's a khabar, can act like ism fa'il. Alaykum is going to be jar wal majroor, muta'alliq bil fail, and muta'alliq bil ism maf'ul, acting as a fail, and then comes ikhrajuhum, and ikhrajuhum, we are going to call it naibul fa'il, right? So everyone, Are you thinking that you will be able to get the concept? Because the verses are going to be shown to you in this form in Quran. There is no other form that you are going to see them. This is the practical. Some people, they are very good with theory, but when it comes to the practicality of things, they cannot do it. They cannot do it. Like, they may be knowing a whole lot about like theory, but they're book smart, but they may not be practically very good. But you in this class, your presence in this class means to me that you want to apply all the information on Quran. When you see Quran, you're able to apply all that you have learned, and that's why we practice. Okay, inshallah. So today, the topic for today, I'm going to start it with this verse, and I'm going to practically start it, and then I'm going to give you the grammar of that later. Okay. So وَإِذْ قَالَ مُوسَى لِقَوْمِهِ. There is an is here. If someone can tell me, how should I label this is as? What should be the i'rab for this is? Yes, it's a zarf, and it is going to it's a zarf, but how is it acting here? Is it acting as a zarf, or here it is acting as something else? It's acting as no, not mubtada. It is maf'ulun bihi lil fi'li mahzuf uskuru. And why I'm saying that? Is it not a story that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is narrating to you guys? Yes or no? It's the start of the verse. Number one, that's another a good point. It's at the start of the verse, and there is a story mentioned after it. There's an incident mentioned after it. Yes or no? Right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is bringing to your attention for you guys. Look here. Remember, you all remember. What should you remember? This story of Musa, when he said to his people. So qala Musa, qala fil madin, wal fa'il Musa alayhi salam, li qawmihi is going to be jar wal majroor along with an idafa, and it's going to be muta'alliq bil fi'l qala, and then comes ya qawmi. From here, what is starting? Makulul Qawl. Very good job. Makulul Qawl is starting whatever comes after Qala Yakulu, and it is, if it is a statement that has been said by someone, it remains in inverted commas. So your inverted comma statement is starting from Ya Qawmi. So be careful. So Ya Qawmi, you are seeing harf nida wa munada, which is qawm. And here, do you think it's one word or there are two words? There are two words. There was a ya here, ya mutakallim, first person singular pronoun ya, which is omitted, and it left its mark on meme, and it is actually ya qawmi. So just Musa alayhi salam is loving his nation and trying to convince them through his love, compassion, empathy, and he's saying, oh my people, innakum. So from here, Jawabun Nida is starting, and you don't worry about that because I've not taught you about Nida wa Jawabun Nida. So just focus on Innakum Zalamtum. Focus on Innakum. What are you seeing here? What is the i'rab? What is the grammar of this word? There is, harf nasb wa ismuha. Ismu inna is kum. Fi mahalli nasbin. After you found your ismu inna, look for what? You should now be all, yelling from your chairs that khabru inna, Sister Saima, you have not learned it so far. Okay, there's a khabru inna zalamtum, and the khabru inna in this case is what kind of a khabar we have. We have learned three types of khabars, right? We do it three ways. So it is jumla ismiya, jumla fe'liya, and mufrad ism. So here jumla fe'liya and fi'l madin is the khabar, and who is the doer here? If there's a fi'l madin, I always look for a file, and the file here is ta. Meme, what is the role of meme here? Who can tell me the role of meme? I need to know what is the purpose of meme after ta. When the ta is the pronoun, why is meme there? Meme is telling me, don't be, deceived by me. The number of people in this case is masculine plural. Masculine plural. If it was noon mushaddada with fatha, zalamtunna, who would be the doer? Feminine plural. It is noon mushaddada would indicate feminine plural. Jama li inas, right? Noon li jama'il inas. So but meme sakoon was there. So I'm going to, say that this is meme for meme sakoon is for masculine plural. Now go on to see after you have a fail with file. Anfusakum is your maf'ul. You wronged yourself. You wronged yourself. Indeed, you all wronged yourself. Maf'ulun bihi is present after your fail wal file, and then there's a maf'ulun bihi. Bittikhazikum. Who remembers? At least let's just do the simple grammar for this. Let's do the nahu for this. Bittikhazi. There are three words. Okay, bittikhazikum. There are three words. Bittikhazi, jar wal majroor. Ittikhazikum is going to be an idafa. Very well done. Very well done. Okay. So when you have a harf, can you call it kind of a mutaliq bil? Yes or no? Yeah. And this ba is a very special ba. This ba is ba ta'liliya. And we will go on, talk about it later. Don't need to focus on that yet, okay? Bittikhazikumul ijla. You are seeing an ism that is nasbin status. And you are seeing here ittikhazi. What kind of a word ittikhazi is? Is it an ism, fail, or what? It is masdar. It is a masdar. It is an ism which is a masdar. And masdar is an word, is an action word that has what? That is what? Which problem? What is a problem in masdar? It's an action word. You taking. There is no time. There is no time. The number one problem that you are going to tell me is there is no time for this action. It's an action word without a tense. Okay, if anyone asks you what is a masdar, yes, it's an idea word. For example, Islam, submission, to submit. So there is an action, submission is an action, to submit is an action, to surrender is an action. But is there any a time bound? Is this word, does this have any time attached? No, there is no time attached. And also, as Sister Shamim is saying, there is also lack of pronoun. Very well done, right? There is no pronoun. But today we are going to see a very different, this ism in a very different light, okay? For those of you who have already learned it, good for you. But for those of you who have not learned it, learn it today. Ittikhazikum. Can I say this as you all took baby cow? Because I have. What do you think? What is the exact translation? What is the right translation? Two is the right translation, right? Right? By your taking of baby cow. Two is the right translation. Huh? Everyone, I want everyone to be awake in today's session. It's a heavy session, and I know nobody wants to. I've seen that not many of you have gone over the video or whatever the recording, but inshallah, I know that you have intention of doing so. But inshallah, if you do not go back to recording, then at least listen carefully here. Okay, so two is the right way to translate it. But but taking of a cow, baby cow. But why is this al-ijla nasbin status? Can I reconcile this? Can I have an explanation for this? Why is the word in nasb status? Whenever you are going to see a word as in a nasb status, you are going to stop there. Your train is going to stop, take a very strong break, because this is not an easy concept. When it is going to come, it's going to be it's going to make a lot of noise when this is going to be really understood. Okay, so you will stop here and you will say, what's happening here? I yani bittikhadikum, I cannot say that this is maf'ul bihi for. Do you think it can be maf'ul bihi for zalamtum? What do you think? Can it be maf'ul bihi for zalamtum? You wronged yourselves, cow. It's very foolish, right? Very foolish to say you wronged yourself, cow. Make sense? It does not make any sense, right? It is you are clueless if you say al ijla is mafulun bihi for zalamtum. So now what I have to do? I have to now focus on ittikhazi, and I am going to see, can my ittikhazi act like a fail, and it is amil for al ijla, and it affected al ijla and made it mafulun bihi. Should I do that, or yes or no? Now I'm going to look for that. Okay. So when I say ittikhadi, kum is the same as ittakhastum, ittakhastum, then who is the doer? Kum is the doer. Okay. Antum is the doer. Okay. Ta, right? So this kum here is acting like a doer for ittikhaz. Yes? Yes? Making sense or no? And then you have al-ijla as mafulun bihi for ittikhadi. Yes or no? Right? And yes, as Sister Shamim is saying, that kum, I can say that this is majroor lafzan, just like we did for ism file. The same thing we can say here, majroor lafzan, marfu mahallan, li'annahu file li masdar. Right? Because it is a file for my masdar ittikhazi. Is this clear to each and every one of you? It is mind blowing. It is. And when you see a verse like that, these verses must take your time. Yes, so whenever you are going to see an ism that is nasbin status after your another ism, just and it is connected to that ism. In this case, it is connected to ittihad, right? It is here, it is being talked about that what did Bani Israel do? They took calf, baby cow as ilah. Allah did not even want to mention that. Allah wanted to humiliate their thinking and their action. That is why by your taking of cow and ilah is not even mentioned. It's not even mentioned because there is even Allah did not. It is actually a way of Allah condemning those their action. So, but when you are seeing al ijla, nasbin status, you must stop. You look at the type of the word you are looking at. If it is your ism file, maf'ul, or masdar, start thinking about, are they acting like a fail and they are acting on ijla and have made it nasbin status? No, that no, it is, ittikhazi is just acting like fail. It's not acting like ism file. It is acting, ittikhaz is just acting like a fail. If that makes sense, Sister um, Zora. So it is acting just like a fail. Remember that. So it is acting like a fail, which is ittakhastum. You have to take your masdar back to its fail, and the fail for ittakhazikum is ittakhaza yattakhizu ittikhazan fahuwa muttakhizun. No, no, no. We are going to come to the condition later. As I told you, grammar rules are going to be taught later. I wanted you to go over the concept, spend some time with that, and then learn the rulings, because memorizing those rules may be easy, but understanding is a main thing. You must understand what the process, right? That if, but where am I going to stop? Why should I stop? Why is Sister Saima telling me to stop, and at every some file, every sum of ul, every masdar, just give it some time if there are words after them in rough nasb, in any mostly in the rough and nasb status, right? So does it make sense? So now if you think about it, you are going to, why, if somebody asked you why are you saying that ittikhaz, which is an ism, is acting like a fail, why you are going to call kum as a file for ittikhaz, why you are, what is the rationale for that? What do you think? Because you do see a clear ism after it, which is nasb status, right? And you have to give an explanation for that, that why is this nasb status, there must be a fail before it, and the fail before it is not exactly a fail, it's a word that is acting like a fail. It is, how it's a, you are not something but you act like something, right? So the same thing is happening with ittikhaz, not a fail, but it is acting like a fail. Ittakhastum, and it was basically, there was ilah word supposed to come there as well, because ittakhadha is a kind of a word that takes two maf'uls. It takes two maf'uls, and maf'ul bihi thani has been omitted, it has been mahzoof, because this is a way of Allah condemning action of Bani Israel. This is, by your taking of baby cow as ilah, that is the understanding, that is how you understand the verse, right? But this has been omitted, this has been omitted here, from here, as ilah, this has been omitted in both cases, just to condemn the action of Bani Israel, right? So now let's learn what are the actions of masdar. Okay, whenever you are going to see masdar, you will see it in three forms. Okay, you can see it in one of the three forms. Either it's going to be mudaf, or it's going to be munawwanan. And when I say munawwanan, what does it mean? It is going to be ending with a tanween. Or you can say, in other words, you can also say it will be mujarrad bi al, mujarrad bil idafa. So when I say mujarrad bil al wa mujarrad bil idafa, it means neither it is mudaf nor it is a word that has al. Okay, but to keep it simple, you can just say I can see my masdar in three ways. It is either going to be mudaf, either it's going to be seen with the tanween, or it's going to be with al. Everyone with me? How many ways you can see your masdar? As a mudaf, with tanween, or with al. That is all that you need to know. When you see it as a mudaf, when you see it as a mudaf, it's mudaf ilayhi. It's mudaf ilayhi can be the doer for this masdar that is acting like a fi'l. Its mudaf ilayhi can be a doer for a masdar that is acting like a fi'l. As you can see here, bittikhazikum, who is the doer? Who is the doer? Give me the doer in this word, whichever form you want to give. Just give me the same word. Kum is the doer. Kum is the doer. That is why we are calling it majroor lafzan, because it's a mudaf ilayhi, but marfu mahallan, because it's actually a doer. Is this clear to each and every one of you? So the same way as we saw this, we can see here, I'm going to show you this verse here so that you can easily be, familiar, you can be made familiar to this. Easily enough to happen. Okay. So let's see here. Let me enlarge it for you a little bit. So can you all see it? وَلَوْلَا دَفْعُ اللَّهِ النَّاسَ. Can you see here something? Daf'u. Can it be a masdar? Pushing away, repelling, repulsion. Make sense, everyone? Right? Repulsion is an ism, right? It is an ism that has an action. To repel is an action. Does it have time? No, it does not. Does it have a tense attached? No, it does not have a tense attached. And as my other sister Shamim has also specified that there's also no pronoun attached there as well. But now when it starts to act like a fail, what is happening? Daf'ullahi. Daf'ullahi. Now think about it. It is, Allah pushing away. So Allah is the fa'il. Very well done. And Allah, but what is the position grammatically? Just think about it, Sister Deeba, that you are in your first term of grammar. You're a beginner student. What is the position of daf'ullahi? What is exact lafzan? It is majroor, because it is majroor bil idafa, because it makes sense. Lafzan, it is majroor, right? But when you look at it, you are seeing that Allah is doing something. Allah is pushing away. What is Allah pushing away? An-nasa. An-nasa. What is that? Nasbism. Yeah, there's a let me, Sister Sabra is saying that there is a problem with the haraka of the word. Yes, I don't know what happened in copy pasting, because I never it's because of the format that there is it should be kasra. Yes, it is dafullahi. Yeah, yeah, so it is dafullahi. So it is, let me just is it clear to everyone? The word is dafullahi. It is, there is no think about just dafullahi. Okay, so dafullahi, lafzul jalala, majroor litazim, majroor lafzan litazim, but it is marfu mahallan, because it is a doer for daf'u. And an-nasa is the mafulun bihi for this masdar, daf'u. Everyone with me? Is this clear? So it's not going to make you confused about the concept. Everyone is with me that sometimes you will see mudaf ilayhi of a masdar is its doer. Okay, so that is one of the cases. I hope this is clear to all of you. Okay, sometimes you can also see that mudaf ilayhi is going to be the detail. Okay, mudaf ilayhi can be the detail for the masdar as well. So keep that in mind. It can be such subject, and it can be the maful bihi as well sometimes, and it depends on the case. And the context tells you the context. What is the meaning of context? The context means, like, when you translate it, you understand that here, it is doing the job of doer, and here it is doing the job of maf'ul bihi. It is answering my what question, and here it is answering the question who did the action. Is this clear? So here, when I look at this verse, this is not a verse, and this is just a sentence. Yasu'ani ihmalul wajibi akhuka. Ihmalu. Do you think ihmalu, have we learned this word ever? Who can tell me where is this word ihmalu coming from? Ihmalu. Ihmalu. Islamu. Yes, it is a masdar from Form 4. Everyone with me now that this is a masdar from Form 4, just like ahmala yuhmilu ihmalan fahuwa muhmilun, right? And you have learned very many muhmilas, right? Muhmila, remember that we did the same family. The same family. This is a masdar of the same family as, la nafiya muhmila, or no, ma nafiya muhmila, all those. Okay, remember that. Ahmala yuhmilu ihmalan. So here, ihmalul wajibi ahuka. Did you notice the translation? Your brother's neglecting his obligation grieves me. So ihmalu is the outside doer for yasu'u. That for another day. But and you can see that this is an ism coming after a fail with damir mustatir hua, so it cancelled damir mustatir hua and it took the place of that, and it is the doer now. So ihmalul wajibi, negligence of obligations. So obligations is at which place? Is it a doer or a detail? There is an idafa, ihmalul wajibi, but here wajib, which is mudaf ilayhi, is it acting like a doer or a detail? That is a question, my dear sisters. Go back to term one always. Don't feel shy to go back to your term one's information. I always do that. You know, what is the detail? What is the position of this word? And that helps me a lot. And getting the for to determine the correct Arab of anything, if you go back to the basics, you will never be wrong. So here, when you see akhuka, what is the position of akhuka? Akhu, what is the status? It is a rough ism. So what is it doing here after ihmal? Why is it rough? It is the fa'il for ihmalu, and al-wajibi is the detail. Al-wajibi is a detail. So the main thing that you want to know, or I want you to learn, is sometimes when your masdar comes up as mudaf, it's mudaf ilayhi. You will mostly see it as file, but it can also be maful bihi for that masdar that is acting as a fi'l. Do I need to repeat myself, or I made myself clear? Clear? Okay, alhamdulillah. So that was one of the cases when you are going to see masdar acting like a fail. The second case is a very interesting verse from the surah of Quran. أو إطعام في يوم ذي مسغبة في يوم ذي مسغبة. So here إطعام يوم في يوم ذي مسغبة. Do you see any masdar in this part? I've, you know, very Islamun, ito'amun. Very good job. And that is how you must be. Don't feel shy that, oh, how do I sound? I sound like a kindergartner when I'm saying ito'amun. Who cares? I need to learn. I need to make sure that I understand my book that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has, given me as the greatest blessing, greatest miracle and blessing both in my hand, and I can go back to it for guidance and everything. So I need to understand it. So it'amun, family 4. So now the second case is you can see your masdar as munawwanan. What do you think it'amun has affected? Which word do you think has been affected by it'amun? Real quick, Sister Tasneem, Sister Sultana, I want a good answer, because those verses are there for a reason. Because there is a word that has been affected by it'amun. What do you think? What should you look for? Is this the masghaba, or there is something else? Sister Faiza, Sister Zohra, what was the first clue when we see some file, ism file, basically with ism file, we must look for, if there's a another word in rough status, or there's another word in nasb status. So do you think, is it yomin, is it the masghaba, or yatiman? Yes, it is yatiman. So half of you are saying, you're focusing on fi yomin zi masghabatin, but your number one clue was in this verse, in these three verses, was yatiman aw miskinan. So who is the amil for that? Who acted upon these words? Who is the amil? Who acted on yatiman? It'amun. It'amun acted as a fail, and it made yatiman nasbin status. It is a mafulun bihi for fail, for masdar it'amun, that is acting like a fail. right? Sister Samina, does it make sense? So that is your number one clue in these three verses. Okay, and you must, spend some time, looking at, what happened, what should make me think here that my Islam is not acting like an Islam anymore. There is something going on here, right? And now replace this it'amun with a fail. At'ama. Translate with at'ama fi yomin zi masghaba. And he fed in the day full of hunger a yatim ذا مقربة أو مسكين ذا متربة. Huh? And if you can do it with يطعم, the same thing, right? Right? How you are going to now focus, and this is going to be inshallah, we are going to, this group is inshallah has been formed to for practical application of grammar, not just learning the rules, right? So we are here, this group of sisters is inshallah going to make a difference by learning how to apply grammar on Quran. Okay, but I have to make sure that you are ready for that. Okay, whenever I'm going to show you a verse, it's important for you to already know the rule and then apply it. So maskinan as well. So maskinan, what do you think, what we have learned in term one, what should be the reason for maskinan to be maskinan? You are right, Aisha. It is because it is an atf. Very well done. Your answer is the right answer. Barakallahu fi. That yatiman is mansoob by, has been made mansoob because of it'am acting as a fail, and it is mafulun bihi for masdar it'amun. But miskinan is nasbin status bil atf, and the atf here is au, as Sister Sabra has written. Okay, so this au is making miskinan as miskinan. Everyone with me so far? So the last one is, sometimes you're going to see it um, with al, and there are not many examples. And the use of this form, I was learning from this person, and there's a teacher, and he was telling that this is very qalil use of masdar. This has been used very little. Mainly, you will see the most common form that masdar is going to act like a fail is when it is a mudaf. So when you see your masdar that is mudaf in idafa fragment, I want all of you to stop and see what is happening here. Will you do that for me? So let me show you another one. So the last one is, here I just quoted a share from a poet. It is just a poetry that they teach in Alfiya ibn Malik course. And this is, I don't know from where this was taken. I think Sibove quoted it. And however, he didn't even mention who the poet was. So the Ifun Nikaya Ada'ahu. So here, An Nikaya is the masdar. And because of An Nikaya, A'da'ahu is nasbin status. A'da'a is nasb because of an-nikaya acting like a fail. But this is not going to be very commonly seen. But this is example from Quran. So can you skip learning it? Can you say that I don't need to learn it? I will still understand my verses. I don't need to spend time on this one. Can you say that this walaula daf'ullahin nasa? Can you forget? Can you skip learning this concept? What do you think? You cannot. If you want to have complete, clear understanding and comprehension, my dear sisters, it is not possible to do it without learning this concept. So I will leave you with this concept here, and inshallah, I will try to find more examples from Quran of masdar, and we will continue learning our isms as a fail. There is going to be a brief session about sifatul mushabba acting as a fail, but that is for the next session. I hope that you will spend some time, inshallah, going over the recording, and inshallah, will try to solidify this concept. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give you barakah in your time, in your ilm, and most importantly, in your amal. Okay? Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik. Nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, my dear sisters. Ameen wa yakum.